I never expected my own family to humiliate me in public, especially not on my sister's biggest day. While everyone celebrated her military graduation, they whispered behind my back, calling me the failure, the disappointment, the one who didn't make it. I stayed quiet, swallowing the shame, until her drill sergeant walked up to me and exposed the one truth my family never expected to hear. People always assume betrayal comes from lovers or partners, but the deepest, sharpest betrayal I ever felt came from the people who shared my blood, my own family. Growing up, my little sister, Jenna, was always the star, the golden child, the one everyone bragged about. And I was the quiet one, not a troublemaker, not a rebel, just overlooked, invisible. Everything I did was fine, okay, not enough to brag about. But when Jenna announced she was joining the military, the entire family lit up as if the heavens themselves had opened. Suddenly, group chats revived. People flew in from distant states, and relatives who hadn't visited in years showed up like she was becoming the president. Meanwhile, I was trying quietly to get into a competitive engineering program. I didn't tell anyone at first, not because I wanted it to be a secret, but because, honestly, no one ever asked about my goals. They were too busy orbiting around Jenna. I remember the exact day the betrayal started. I walked into the living room where everyone was gathered for a pre-graduation family dinner. My aunt looked at me with that pity-filled tilt of her head and said loudly, "So, you didn't get into that engineering thing, right? It's okay. Not everyone's meant for academics." I froze. I hadn't even told her I applied. I hadn't told anyone. My mother chimed in before I could speak. "Well, we knew it was a long shot, but at least he tried." The look. That condescending, dismissive, "It's fine, you're mediocre, sweetie" look. I felt something inside me collapse. How did they even know I applied? And more importantly, who told them I didn't get in? My dad added, "Just don't ruin Jenna's big weekend with your situation." I excused myself, pretending I needed something from the car, but really I just needed air. I needed distance. Somehow, somewhere, someone had taken the one thing I cared about and twisted it into a failure story before I even had the chance to share anything. The truth was, I hadn't failed. In fact, I had been accepted. I was waiting to tell them after Jenna's graduation, so the spotlight stayed on her. But I guess someone didn't want to give me the chance. Fast forward to the day of her military graduation. Rows of uniforms, families cheering, flags waving in the summer heat. Everyone looked so proud, so emotional. And even though I wasn't the one graduating, I felt something heavy in my chest, like I didn't belong there. My entire family sat together in a row, whispering to each other every time they glanced my way. Little snickers, tight smiles. My aunt whispered loud enough for me here, "At least one of their kids made it." Every word stabbed deeper. I sat there silently, suffocating in humiliation. And then something happened that changed the entire trajectory of my life and exposed the betrayal no one expected to hear. Her drill sergeant started walking toward me, and he wasn't smiling. He stopped right in front of me, looked me dead in the eyes, and said, "Son, I need a word with you." The entire row went silent, and for the first time ever, I felt every head turn toward me. My heart stopped. Why would a drill sergeant want to talk to me? I wasn't in trouble, at least not that I knew of, and the way my family stared made me feel like I had done something horribly wrong just by breathing. My mother leaned forward, whispering harshly, "What did you do?" I shook my head. "Nothing," but she didn't believe me. She never did. The drill sergeant gestured for me to step aside, and I followed him past rows of chairs until we were standing near the edge of the parade field. My palms were sweating, my voice shaky. "Is something wrong?" I asked. He crossed his arms. "You're Jenna's brother, right?" "Yes, sir." He nodded slowly, studying me. "Funny. She talks about you a lot." My chest tightened. "She does?" "Every week," he said. "Says you're the smartest one in the family. Says you're the one who keeps her grounded." I swallowed hard. That's not the version my family believed. He continued. "He also mentioned you were applying for that engineering program. Said you'd get in for sure." I blinked in shock. My own sister believed in me more than my entire family combined. "Did you get the results yet?" he asked. I hesitated. "I did." "Congratulations," he said, giving a rare, earnest smile. My breath caught. "Wait, you know?" He nodded. "Your sister couldn't stop bragging. She told everyone here your acceptance meant more to her than her own graduation." My eyes stung. But behind that emotional swell came a rising wave of anger. If Jenna knew, if she was proud, then why did my family tell everyone I failed? Before I could ask anything, he added, "She said she was planning to announce it today, during family photos. She said she wanted everyone to cheer for you the way they cheer for her." My knees almost gave out. The entire narrative I'd been fed was a lie. A deliberate one. But why? When I rejoined my family, they immediately circled me like vultures. "What did he say? Are you in trouble? Did you embarrass us?" Typical. I opened my mouth to speak, but my father cut me off. "Listen," he said coldly, "don't make this about you. Today is Jenna's day. Try not to draw attention." That was it. That was the moment something inside me snapped like a brittle bone. "Why did you all tell people I failed?" I asked quietly. They froze. My mother scoffed. "Because you did." "No," I said. "I didn't." She waved a hand dismissively. "Even if you didn't, it's better this way. You always make things complicated. This weekend needed to be simple." Simple, meaning Jenna shines. I stay invisible. The family narrative remains intact. My aunt chimed in. "We just didn't want any confusion or disappointment on a special day." Confusion? Disappointment? My dad added, "Look, even if you were accepted, I was," I said through clenched teeth. "We needed Jenna to have her moment. You can share your news later, much later, or not at all." My stomach twisted. They didn't want a failure story. They wanted my failure story. Because for years, my existence made Jenna look brighter. My quietness made her louder. My invisibility made her shine. But now I had something they couldn't control, success they couldn't spin, a win they couldn't diminish. And it terrified them. I looked at my family, my own blood, and realized something painful. They didn't just dismiss me, they sabotaged me. But the worst betrayal was still coming, and it would explode in front of everyone. Later that afternoon, after the graduation ceremony, the families gathered for photos. Soldiers stood proudly with their loved ones. Laughter filled the air, pride, joy. But in our family circle, tension hung like a storm cloud ready to split open. Jenna approached us, still in uniform, glowing with pride. When she saw me, her face lit up. "There you are," she said, pulling me into a hug. "Did Sergeant talk to you?" I nodded, unable to speak. She beamed. "I told him about your acceptance. I can't wait for everyone to hear. I've been keeping it in for weeks." The silence that followed was suffocating. My mother quickly stepped between us. "Sweetie, we already told everyone he didn't get in." Jenna's smile vanished. "What?" "We didn't want your moment overshadowed," my aunt added. Jenna stared at them like she didn't recognize her own family. Overshadowed? She repeated. How would his success overshadow me? My dad shrugged. We just thought, no, Jenna cut in sharply. You didn't think. You controlled. You manipulated. You lied. Her drill sergeant, who had been walking nearby, overheard. He walked over and joined the circle. Is there a problem? My mom plastered on a fake smile. No, just family talk. Jenna's voice cracked. They lied about my brother failing. The drill sergeant raised an eyebrow. Why? And that's when the truth came out like poison spilling from a cracked bottle. My mother sighed dramatically. Because he always complicates things, always needs a